Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my little old channel. If you're new here, then hi. I'm just looking at that lens. That lens is filthy. I think that's better. So hey, how's it going? Welcome back. I'm Jane Sarshay. Normally you'd see me in Myrtle the camper van. There is a problem with Myrtle the camper van. So a lot has happened in the last week and I figured I'm just going to do a vlog. I don't normally do vlogs. I normally just do recipe videos with added bits added in, but there's so much has happened that I can't kind of mentally squeeze into a recipe video, so I figured let's just have a little weekend vlog. Let's catch you up with all the chaos that's been going on down here, and then we can just get back to normal next Wednesday. It'll be much easier. So last weekend we were headed up to Exeter for Beautiful Days Festival, one of my two favourites. The festival is actually organised by the Levellers, which is my absolute top favourite band. They've been my favourite band for a very long time. In fact, I once left a nightclub in Plymouth at 2 AM and I drove to Brighton Beer Festival from the club to see the Levellers played, and then I drove all the way back to Cornwall that night. It was nuts. But you do that stuff when you're young, right? Anyway, I digress. So on Thursday last week we were headed up towards Exeter, and for anyone that's Devon Cornwall based, you will no doubt know Holden Hill. Holden Hill killed Myrtle. It was very stressful and it was very sad. Johnny was driving, he did a cracking job. We literally just got to the top of the hill, steam started coming out of the bonnet. He screamed round the corner into the services there, and we actually broke down at the services, which, let's be honest, if you're going to break down somewhere, to have a Costa coffee one side of you and Lavazza coffee the other side of you and toilets galore, it was the perfect place to break down. But the sad news was we were on our way to spend 4 days at a festival, so we had a van loaded up with gear, with food. I'd actually prepped all the food for the weekend, and I was planning to bring you a kind of what we eat during a festival kind of video. So I'm a little bit gutted that never happened. We had to hang around for a few hours. The RAC towed us home, and that was on the Thursday, and then on the Friday the weather was horrific. It was really bad. We were really grumpy, and we decided to light the fire. Believe it or not, August. We lit the fire. I sat there with a blanket over me and a cat on my lap, and I sulked. And Johnny sulked too, to be fair. It wasn't just me. So Myrtle's radiator has gone, and it looks like the head gasket has also gone, which is fine, and Johnny can fix those things. It's not the end of the world. It's going to be a few £100, but it's not the end of the world. It's just being self-employed, and with all the crazy work I've done lately with the TV show and currently writing the book, it just means work has been, like, paying work has been a little bit intermittent this year, and I am currently in between invoices. I've got another 12 days to go before a big invoice gets paid. So Myrtle is just sat out there feeling very sorry for herself, feeling very unloved, because there's actually nothing I can do about it right now. I don't have the funds to order the parts for Johnny to fix her. So, bit of a bummer really. One thing I very quickly want to say, I put out on Facebook and on Instagram stories and stuff that we've broken down. And out of all the people that I know, and even some people that I don't actually know, we were offered a camper van from a company that hires them out for free for us to borrow. We were offered a friend's motorhome, a friend's car. My mum offered to put us up in a hotel in Exeter for the whole weekend. Bless you, mum, thank you. We were offered a friend's house who lives 10 miles away, or 10 minutes away from the site. And each time somebody offered us more kindness, Johnny and I just got sulkier and grumpier. It was the weirdest thing. It's like we both just wanted to feel really hacked off, and like, all these people being nice to us. It's really weird. But anyway, I'd like to say a huge thank you to everybody that showered us with kindness. It really was, it was very sweet, and I'm so sorry. We were so ruddy-mardy that we couldn't actually take you up on any of your kind offers. We did, however, borrow my mum's car on the Sunday, and we went up as just for the day, and we saw Ferocious Dog, who we adore. They're a northern kind of punk folk band, love them. And obviously we saw the Levellers. They close out the festival every year, and that for me was just the nuts. It was fantastic. I love the Levelers. I love their music. I love their sets on stage. I love them. So I'm really glad we made the effort, and Mum, thank you for lending us your car so that we could do that. So let's just have a quick whiz round the Beautiful Days Festival site. I don't have a lot of footage because obviously I wasn't actually there for very long, but I did get some, so let me just share this with you quickly, and then I'm going to bring you back to the farm here in Cornwall, and I'm finally going to give you a farm tour. And this farm tour video is dedicated to one of my YouTube subscribers called Graham, who has pestered me and harassed me and hassled me for months, Graham, to do a farm tour. And I couldn't work out how to ever fit it in with one of my recipe videos. And because today's video is just such a mishmash of chaos, I thought, do you know what? Let's give this Graham his farm tour. Finally, I've been waiting for the sea mist to burn off. It's now a beautiful sunny day. So very, very quickly, let's just give you a little tour of Beautiful Days Festival. And then I'm going to take you out. We're going to do some picking and some foraging in the allotments, in the orchards and in the hedgerows. And I'm going to introduce you to some of my animals here on the farm. Sorry, WhatsApp. Yeah, so no recipe for you today, just a wander around a festival and a wander around the little farm in Cornwall. I hope you enjoy it. So this is not my farm, this is my family farm. This is where I grew up. I've lived here on and off since I was 4 years old. My brother and I were both born in Guernsey in the Channel Islands. My parents moved us onto mainland UK when I was 4, my brother would have been 7. And they bought this 30 acres on the southern coast of Cornwall, and we've been here as a family ever since. My brother has flitted off and done stuff, as have I, but we've both come home. He lives here now again as well. Poor mum can't get rid of us. So as a child, my dad grew a lot of our food. My brother and I would be out before school bottle feeding lambs, and then a month or two later we'd be eating those lambs. And that's the reality of growing up on a farm, is you're very, very involved in every stage of the process of eating food, whether it's sowing seeds, picking and scrubbing off dirt and then peeling and cooking, or whether it's helping a ewe to lamb and then bottle feeding the baby and then butchering that lamb and then obviously roasting it up on a Sunday to feed the family. And I've been involved in those processes my entire life, so they're very natural to me. It feels very normal. I know it freaks people out that as a child I would help my dad gut the pigs and I'd make lard, and if friends came round and there was some roast lamb, I'd say, oh, do you want some of Betty? And I get that it freaks people out, but for me, this is my reality. Real food from the source is how I experienced food my entire life. And I'm so, so grateful to my family to be able to give me that opportunity, because it's now as an adult I realise that I am in the minority. There's not many people that have that connection with food, and that goes back such a long way. So I do feel very, very honoured in this crazy modern world where we're used to buying stuff wrapped up in plastic. And it's of course that childhood of real food that has led me into a life of teaching others about food, about sharing dishes from my personal history, but also from English history, traditional British or even Cornish recipes, sharing things like that, recipes with history and recipes with a story and recipes with an emotional attachment. It's sharing those things that gets me really, really excited over on my blog, which is called hedgecombers.com, or here on YouTube too. Now, when Johnny moved to Cornwall maybe 10-ish years ago, we were both very, very hard up. We rented a cottage here off my parents. We didn't have much cash flow between us, and buying quality meat was actually quite difficult. We certainly couldn't afford to buy organic. Free range was pretty much out of the question. So we decided to start rearing our own meat again, like we used to do when I was a kid. And over the years we did turkey, quail, chicken, duck, pigs, can't think of anything else offhand. But we would always have an animal on the go and something in the freezer, so there was always meat for us to eat. And the important part of that for me was that I knew that the animals had been reared compassionately and killed compassionately. And that's one of my very strong callings in life, is to bring people's awareness to the cruelty that goes on into our farming systems when it comes to the animals in our food chain. If anyone wants more information, there's a website that I'll link down in the description box. They're called Compassion in World Farming. They're a charity. Their work is just fantastic. I absolutely adore what they do. So if you have any similar feelings about protecting the animals in our food chain, and especially if you're a meat eater, then please, please, please pop down to follow the link in the description box and go and learn up about them. You can support them financially or just support them via social media, that kind of thing. There's lots of ways that you can help to spread their word. So even though we don't kill any animals here on the farm anymore, we do still keep some. So these are my laying hens, and earlier this summer we actually rescued some hens that were on their way to be slaughtered for, I believe, for animal food. They were 18 months old, and they've been religiously laying an egg a day for a battery farm somewhere. And so we could only take 4, unfortunately. That's all the space we had to fit in with our other girls. But now they're all living communally and they're all very happy, and their feathers are growing back and they're really beautiful. And actually, for those of you that will be watching my TV show later this year or early next year, you will actually see us collecting the rescue hens on the rescue day, which I'm really excited to see how that footage came out, because it was a very emotional day, I have to say. And we've also got Muscovy ducks. Now these girls live on this little island down on our pond. They waddle up to our kitchen door every morning where we feed them, and they're very, very sweet. They do lay eggs, but they lay eggs generally in the water or on the island, and I don't bother collecting them. I just leave them. They do try and incubate them every spring, but now we don't have a drake. Obviously they're infertile eggs, so really, these girls are just pets. They don't bring us anything in terms of meat or babies or eggs or anything. We love them, and we love seeing them around the farm. So these girls are currently here to stay. Now we also grow a lot of our own fruit and veg. This is my little allotment, and we've got a range of stuff growing on in here, including a lot of weeds, don't judge. But at the moment we've got squash, beans, strawberries, Swiss chard, spinach, lots of herbs, and lots of other bits and pieces. A lot of it's for us, and a lot of it is also for the bees. So we try to keep the pollinators as happy as possible. And then this is my little polytunnel, and this is my little happy place. I love it in here. This is where I grow tomatoes and chilies every year. So tomatoes and chilies, they're both my favourite plants to grow, and the reason that I grow them indoors is because if we get a wet summer down here in Cornwall, then blight just whips through and I lose all my tomatoes. So by putting them in the polytunnel, I can more easily control the atmosphere they're in. They still sometimes do go down with blight if it's a really, really drizzly summer, but last year and this year so far have been excellent. No sign of blight. Everything's looking really, really happy. So we've also got 2 orchards on the farm. This is the old/ancient one. It's been here long before any of us were around. And this is full of those really sour, old-fashioned cooking apples. They grow to a ginormous size. They're really, really sour, and you have to put lashings of sugar with them. And this is our new orchard. So my dad planted this, oh gosh, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago. Unfortunately, we lost Dad 6 years ago, so this is a lovely tribute to him. And then finally, the true inspiration behind my online food persona are our copious amounts of hedges. So online I'm known as Hedgecomber, and this is another of my happy places. The thought for me of going out with a basket, going out and just collecting food from the wild for free, it makes me buzz. I absolutely love it. So throughout the year there's plenty of stuff that we can forage just here on our farm. We're also quite close to the coast, we're also quite close to moorland, so we've got a complete range of plants that we can forage with really not travelling all that far. So in one calendar year here on the farm I'd be able to harvest blackberries, sloes and damsons, we've got elderberries or elderflowers depending on the time of year, green hazelnuts now at this time of year in August, wild garlic in the spring, stinging nettles, oh my gosh, so much. And also there's always a chap on hand that I can ask to go and shoot me a rabbit or a pigeon or even a squirrel. So we have lots of access to free wild food out there, which is great. And then very quickly, this is the haul from my little wander with you today. Now next week I'm going to bring you a fabulous boozy recipe using these blackberries. So if that sounds fun, stay tuned. And in the meantime, I have a question for you. I want to know how you would feel about me bringing into this channel, which currently is all about easy one-pot camping recipes. How would you feel about me bringing in more of my farm life, of my farm recipes, of recipes that people have enjoyed on the blog that perhaps I'm going to make a video for? Is this the kind of place that you want to see that? I've always built this channel to be about camping recipes, but me and my website and my brand, if you like, and also the TV show, we're very much more than just camping recipes. So I want to do what makes you guys happy. Please would you leave me a comment below, let me know, yes, bring in all the recipes, or nah, we're just here for the camping stuff. I really appreciate you taking the time to do that, and I might even run a poll here on YouTube too. So I hope you enjoyed this really random little vlog today. I know it's nothing like I normally put out. Normality will return next week, like I say, with a nice little boozy blackberry recipe. Until then, here's wishing you a fabulous weekend, people, and I look forward to catching up with you on Wednesday. Until then, happy camping.